Hey YouTube. So today and for the next couple of videos, I'm going to focus in on chickpeas or garbanzo beans. I find chickpeas sound so much nicer. Garbanzo sounds extremely healthy and almost disgusting, but chickpeas can taste pretty good depending on how you prepare them. And when it comes to preparedness or just having a really well-stocked pantry, a lot of people do stock beans. And what I'm finding is that sometimes you might have a lot of something and not actually have a lot of uses for them. So then they just sit there. So these next few videos, I'm going to make some short videos about chickpeas and what you can make with them. So this very first one is going to be making something that's near and dear to my heart, and it is mock coffee. So I don't know if anybody's been to the store lately, but coffee has gone up a lot. For at least a year or two, we've been buying instant coffee, and it's just so much easier and quicker. But before that, I was buying organic coffee beans. When I bought them in bulk at Costco, it wasn't overly expensive if I waited for a sale and just stocked up. But I found over time it's getting pretty expensive to buy organic coffee. Even aside from that, I really do enjoy instant coffee. I go for the no name brand, the family pack, and I like it a lot because it's just so quick. And one part about it being so quick is I probably drink a little bit too much because I don't have to do a lot of preparation. With instant coffee, you just add the hot water and it's ready to go. You don't have to grind anything, you don't have to steep anything. So it's really quick. And I find I probably drink a little bit more coffee than I should. And the incentive is to drink a little bit less, not just because I don't want to be strung out on too much caffeine, but also because it's pretty expensive these days. So I'm trying to cut down on it. And I have this magazine that I have been subscribed to in the past. I'm not right now, but some old magazines I have here. Countryside Magazine. It's a great magazine. So many great ideas, a lot of insight regarding homesteading and gardening and preserving and all sorts of stuff. And this is an old magazine from 2024. Oh yeah, 2023. And just going through them, you forget about some of the articles if you keep your magazine. So I saw this one this week, Grow and Roast Your Own Garbanzo Bean Coffee. And I'm going to go ahead and give this a try here. And garbanzo beans, again, is chickpeas. So I'm going to make this recipe. It's going to be very simple, and I am told in the article that it can actually fool people. So I'm going to give this a try. I've heard about making mock coffee with different products before, but I've never tried it. And I'm not really hoping for too much here, but if I can find something that's at least decent to make a cup of fake coffee with at least once a day, then that will cut down 1 cup of coffee. What it says you need is just 2 cups of dry garbanzo beans and water. And that water is based on making your coffee once you're done. So this recipe says to preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm actually going to preheat my oven to 375 because I don't want my coffee beans to be overly dark. I like medium to light. I don't like dark roasted coffee. I think this person's recipe is based on making dark roast. So that's the only thing that will be different here. I'll be baking mine at 375 for about an hour or so, and I will come back. So 2 cups of chickpeas or garbanzo beans roasted in a 400 or 375 degree oven, depending on how dark roast you want it. Here are the chickpeas or garbanzo beans. They actually do look quite a bit like coffee beans that have been roasted. It's been in the oven at 375 for about an hour, and I'm going to let them cool completely and come back and grind them up. So here my chickpeas have completely cooled and they are ready to be ground up. So I'm going to grind up a little bit at a time here. And I like to use, generally when I'm grinding up my coffee beans, I like to use the, the Magic Bullet. It's just a smaller version of a blender. You can always use the blender. I do use that when I'm grinding up like bulk amounts of coffee beans, but if I'm just doing a little bit at a time, I like to use this little cup here. So I have here some pre-ground chickpeas that I've ground up. A little bit lumpy, but it is actually ground up. It's just looking lumpy right now. So we've completed step 5, and now step 6 is place 2.5 tablespoons of grounds into a saucepan, pour in 3.5 cups of fresh water and bring to a boil. So I'll do it according to the way that they have it here. 3.5 cups of water is probably going to be, I'm thinking it's going to be an oversized cup of coffee or 2 cups of coffee. But I'll just do it according to the recipe for now. 3.5 cups of water with 2.5 tablespoons of the coffee grounds. You know, this actually does smell like coffee. I was smelling it, and it does have this coffee smell, so I'm a little hopeful that this might actually taste like coffee. Now that it's at a rolling boil, the recipe says to leave it to boil for 2 to 4 minutes after it starts the rolling boil, and keep a little bit of cold water to calm down the coffee beans. If it starts to look like it's going to boil over, you can calm it down a bit by adding a little bit of cold water. So I'll just add a little cold water just to calm it down a bit, but I'll let it simmer for another 2 minutes, and then we'll turn it off. Okay, so it's been simmering for 2 minutes now. I'm going to transfer it into my coffee press here, my French press. But if you don't have a French press and you want to try this, you can also just strain it with a strainer and pour it into your coffee cups. So that 3.5 cups definitely is enough for 2 or 3 servings. That filled up my whole French press. So I'm just gonna press down. Okay, so I've got a little bit of sweetener. I normally take my coffee with a little bit of sweetener and milk. So I'm gonna prepare it the same way that I normally drink it. Okay, here it goes. It's a little too hot. I'm gonna add some milk. It tastes good. It actually tastes pretty good. But it doesn't, I don't know. I feel like it tastes like it tastes like a bit like weak coffee. So maybe I should have let it roast for a little bit longer. The instructions did say to roast them at 400 for an hour and 15 minutes, but I was thinking it might be like an extra dark roast, but no, I think it probably would have been more like medium, and what I have here is more like light roast. Yeah, so you know what? It actually does taste like coffee. Yep, I could definitely be fooled into drinking this. Maybe not for my first cup of the day, but definitely I could drink this during the daytime when I want to have a coffee break, and I could easily drink this instead. It's actually pretty good. Not to mention, I'm actually going to be giving myself B vitamins and magnesium and iron, because chickpeas are pretty packed with vitamins. And then not to mention like the fiber and the protein, right? So that is making coffee out of garbanzo beans or chickpeas. So I hope you give it a try. Actually, I think that you could fool somebody who drinks coffee if you prepared this for them. Definitely let me know in the comment section if you do give it a shot. I hope this video finds you well. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.